Caitlin Clark just did the unthinkable. She turned a preseason game into the most expensive ticket of her entire career. We're not talking playoffs, not even regular season. One exhibition match, and fans were paying over $2,000 just to be in the building. This isn't just hype, it's history in real time. The Caitlin Clark effect is reshaping the WNBA, one sold-out arena at a time. Let's dive in.
This preseason game has now set the new ticket price high for anything that Caitlin Clark, any game she has played in.
We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans.
People were willing to pay up to see Caitlin Clark.
They clearly have a big three, right? It's Caitlain, number first and foremost one, and then Aaliyah Boston, and then Kelsey Mitchell. And so those are your stars. That's the core of your roster.
What just unfolded in Iowa has left the basketball world utterly stunned. Fans, analysts, and even the most seasoned ticket brokers are scrambling to make sense of it. It wasn't just a game, it was a phenomenon. The kind of moment that sends shockwaves across sports media and makes you rethink what's possible in a preseason.
Somebody moves the needle when people are willing to pay ginormous amount of money. Is that a word?
It was a spectacle so electric, so culturally seismic, that even the secondary ticket market couldn't keep up. Demand exploded, prices soared, and all eyes locked in on one name, Caitlin Clark.
Average paid price of $440 per ticket.
Caitlin Clark didn't just break records, she obliterated her own, and did it in a way that no one saw coming. This wasn't about scoring 40 points or launching logo threes. This was about impact, economic, emotional, and cultural. Just moments ago, she sent Indiana Fever ticket prices into a realm we've never seen, catapulting them into the stratosphere with nothing more than her presence on a preseason court. Fans emptied their wallets with lightning speed, desperate just to be in the building. The rush was instant. History was made not with a buzzer beater, but at the box office. And in that moment, Clark proved she's not just a player, she's a force.
The WNBA saw a boom like we have never seen. We saw Caitlin Clark come into the league. We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans who flooded to the WNBA, and many of those were there for Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark's return to Iowa wasn't for a championship, and it wasn't even for a regular season showdown. Yet fans treated it like a finals Game 7. This was a preseason matchup, but the ticket prices? Higher than any game she's ever played, college or pro. And behind the curtain, the Indiana Fever are making moves, bold ones. They're not just building a team, they're building a dynasty, with Clark at the center of it all.
That has become arguably the most influential basketball player in the world, both on the men's and the women's side.
Caitlin Clark just shattered expectations and her own record by turning a preseason exhibition into the priciest ticket of her career. No playoff drama, no regular season stakes. Just Clark, back on the hardwood at Carver Hawkeye Arena, and a crowd willing to shell out an average of $440 just to witness it. Against the Brazilian national team, on her old college court, Clark proved once again, when she plays, history follows.
She takes over, she maestros, she controls game after game after game with her passing and her carefully chosen spots to score.
And here's what makes this all the more remarkable. It didn't happen in her first year when the buzz of being a top rookie was fresh and untested. This explosion in ticket value, this fervor to see her play, is happening in Caitlin Clark's second year. That means the hype hasn't faded, it's intensified. What many expected to be a fleeting rookie sensation has instead evolved into a sustained, growing phenomenon. The appetite to watch her in action isn't just surviving the hype of last season. It's thriving, multiplying, and commanding a spotlight that only seems to grow brighter with each game. Caitlin Clark isn't a passing trend. She's becoming the main event.
Yeah, I mean, that was like my biggest focus in the offseason, is just trying to get stronger and really working on that. And really thankful for Sarah, our strength and conditioning coach, like put in a lot of time with me, and we were in here consistently. Like, I think that was the biggest thing for myself, is just having that consistency to be able to work on it for 6 months or whatever it was. So I certainly feel a lot stronger, and I'm a pretty self-aware person. I knew that was going to be a huge part of it, and It's going to help me offensively. It's going to help me defensively. It's going to help me not get as tired throughout games. Definitely one of the focus points of my offseason is just getting.
Clark's return to the state of Iowa didn't just tug on heartstrings. It set the entire basketball world ablaze. For her hometown fans, it was a deeply emotional homecoming. But nationwide, it was a frenzy. According to the Associated Press, this game set the highest average ticket price for any Caitlain Clark matchup, college or professional. Think about that. No men's or women's basketball player in recent history has accomplished this, breaking ticket pricing records in both the NCAA and WNBA within such a condensed time frame. This isn't a media creation. This isn't marketing fluff. This is real. This is history unfolding before our eyes. And we're only at the beginning. What Caitlain Clark is doing isn't just shaking up the scoreboard. She's flipping the financial blueprint of women's basketball. She's turning preseason matchups into headline events, transforming the Indiana Fever into box office gold, and quite frankly, reshaping the business model of the WNBA from the ground up. Let's begin where the numbers don't lie, because in this case, they scream. Since Caitlain Clark's seismic arrival to the WNBA, the Indiana Fever haven't just seen a bump in interest, they've witnessed a financial eruption. We're talking about an across-the-board surge in ticket prices that borders on unprecedented, not just in women's basketball, but in professional sports history. Let's break it down. 4 away games during the upcoming 2025 season, the average ticket price to see the Fever, and, more accurately, to see Caitlain Clark in action, has skyrocketed to $272. That's up from $171 just a season ago. That's a 59% increase in 1 year. To put that into context, most franchises would kill for even a 5% bump in pricing over a 3-year span. This isn't growth, it's a marketplace transformation. And it only gets more staggering when you look at the home side of the equation. Inside the Fever's own arena, ticket prices have more than doubled. Last season, the average seat cost fans about $92. Now, it's a whopping $197. That's not inflation. That's the Caitlain Clark effect. That's one athlete redefining not just what it means to be a draw, but what it means to be an economic engine for an entire sports league. No rookie has ever made this kind of impact this fast. In fact, no veteran has either. Clark is, by every measurable metric, the most valuable player to her league's box office in the modern era. But what's happening in Indiana goes well beyond the ticket stubs and secondary market insanity. The Fever haven't just been content to ride Clark's star power, they've decided to weaponize it. Management went into the offseason with a clear and aggressive mindset: build around Clark and build to win immediately. The team's front office didn't wait to see if their new phenom could carry the roster on her back. Instead, they launched a full-scale reconstruction effort, reimagining the team's identity to complement and elevate their generational talent. Step 1 in this transformation? Bring in the right pieces. And they started with a bold acquisition, Sophie Cunningham. A feisty, veteran guard with 6 hard-fought seasons under her belt in Phoenix, Cunningham didn't just arrive in Indiana with experience, she arrived with belief. From day one, she made her admiration for Clark known, comparing her new teammate to the greatest of all time, Diana Taurasi. And that comparison wasn't tossed out lightly. You've got to keep your head on a swivel when you're playing with her, Cunningham said. The way she throws passes, the court vision, it reminds me a lot of how DT used to throw it. This is like a younger version, with more energy, more spunk. From someone who played alongside Taurasi during her prime years, that's not just high praise, it's borderline coronation. Cunningham is excited, not just to run the floor with Clark, but to be part of a system that could evolve into one of the most dynamic offensive forces in the WNBA. Everybody can shoot, everyone can cut, and if you're open, you better be ready. The ball's coming. But Cunningham was just the beginning. The Fever also added Dana Bonner, a seasoned leader and championship-caliber player whose presence immediately reshaped the locker room dynamic. Bonner didn't just bring talent, she brought gravitas. Her voice, her experience, her championship pedigree instantly commanded respect. And that respect reverberated with Caitlain Clark herself. When Detox, Clark said, "Everybody listens." We didn't have that last year. We missed that. As a second-year point guard, Clark recognized what Bonner represented, not just a veteran, but a champion, a mentor, a voice of reason when the lights burn hottest. Honestly, I want to win for her. This might be her last run, and she deserves to go out on top. Let that sink in. The brightest young star in the league, already being spoken about in historic terms, is talking about winning for her veteran teammate. That's not just chemistry, that's culture. And the overhaul didn't stop there. The Fever continued their aggressive reload by bringing in key veterans like Brianna Turner and Natasha Howard, both known for their defensive tenacity and playoff experience. Then there's Aaliyah Boston, the reigning Rookie of the Year and an elite presence in the paint, alongside Kelsey Mitchell, one of the league's most underrated scoring threats. What Indiana has built is more than a team, it's a contender. And every single move was made with one goal in mind, not to just showcase Caitlin Clark, but to maximize her. The Fever are no longer a rebuilding team. They're a franchise reborn, with a superstar at the helm, a battle-tested supporting cast, and a front office that's done playing the long game. They've gone all in. And in doing so, they've turned Indiana into one of the most dangerous, most compelling, and most watched teams in the entire league. This isn't just the start of Caitlin Clark's WNBA journey. It's the start of a WNBA renaissance. And Indiana? They're not just along for the ride. They're driving the bus. Everything about this Indiana Fever squad feels brand new. And not just on paper, but in the air, in the locker room, in the very energy that surrounds the team. There's a buzz, a freshness, the kind you notice right away. It's like pulling warm laundry straight from the dryer. Familiar, but somehow better. There's warmth, clarity, a reset of sorts. That's the feeling floating through the Fever's training camp right now. And it's not just a vibe, it's structure, it's culture, it's purpose, new leadership at the top, a fresh coaching staff, revamped personnel, and most importantly, a rejuvenated locker room energy that finally feels aligned. Last year, it was chaos, awkward chemistry, mismatched energy. Nothing felt right. But now, with everything clicking into place, it's as if the first domino has fallen, and suddenly, the entire picture is coming together. For the returning players, this transformation isn't just welcome. It's empowering. With a strong foundation finally in place, they no longer have to worry about dysfunction behind the scenes. They can focus on playing their best basketball. The culture has been established, and with that, the path to excellence has never been clearer. And at the center of it all, a nucleus that looks every bit like a dynasty in the making. Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, three names that individually carry weight, but together form a powerhouse trio now being touted as the Fever's new Big Three. You've got Clark's once-in-a-generation playmaking and long-range marksmanship, Boston's dominance in the paint, and Mitchell's veteran leadership and effortless scoring touch. This isn't hype, it's a real, strategic build. And sportbooks have noticed. DraftKings currently places the Indiana Fever fourth in the race for the WNBA title, with odds at plus 380, trailing only the juggernauts New York Liberty, Las Vegas Aces, and Minnesota Lynx. Over at FanDuel, the momentum is even stronger. They're tied for second with the Aces at plus 350. These aren't fringe odds. These are championship-caliber projections. The message is loud and clear. The Indiana Fever are not rebuilding. They're not waiting. They're ready. They're here. Off the court, the movement is just as powerful. The entire rookie class has been fully integrated into the franchise's public image. Recently, they were courtside at a Pacers game, tossing t-shirts into a roaring crowd alongside Clark and the veterans. And if that wasn't enough of a statement, the Fever just dropped a sizzling workout video featuring Caitlin Clark, Bree Hall, Ivana Jim, and Michaela Timpson, each showcasing flashes of their athleticism and potential. But this isn't just about basketball workouts or fan service. It's about branding. It's about building a moment that the sports world can't take its eyes off. And they've succeeded. The merchandise wave is already swelling. Analysts are predicting Clark's jersey could become the best-selling WNBA jersey of the season, and possibly of all time. Some are even projecting that she could rank second in jersey sales in league history by the end of her second season. That's not just rare, it's unprecedented. Meanwhile, Indiana's home games are selling out. Ticket prices have doubled. Road games featuring Clark are turning into traveling spectacles. The Fever aren't just playing basketball, they're drawing massive national attention, turning arenas into must-see events. Let's talk numbers. Last year, the Fever barely scraped together 20 wins and were knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. Now, they're entering 2025 with one of the most formidable, well-balanced rosters in the league. And with Clark's second season beginning, the entire country is watching. What's happening in Indiana isn't some rebuild or retool. It's a full-on, full-speed revolution. The kind you rarely see coming. The kind that changes leagues. And make no mistake, Caitlain Clark is at the heart of it all. She's not just transforming a team. She's transforming the WNBA. What we're witnessing right now in Indiana is a cultural shift. A redefinition of how a franchise can be built, marketed, and elevated in the modern era. The front office knows exactly what they have. A generational star, a dynamic core, and a fan base ready to rally behind the mission. So they didn't just build a roster, they built a movement, a message, a brand, and they're not whispering it. They're screaming it from every billboard, every press release, and every viral clip. The WNBA has never seen anything like this before. The Indiana Fever are no longer waiting for respect, they're demanding it. They've launched a campaign that's sending shockwaves through the sports world, and it's called Now You Know. And let me tell you, this is more than just a catchy slogan, it's a declaration of intent. The Fever are here, and they're not asking for anything. They're taking what's rightfully theirs, starting with a trailer that left jaws dropped and hearts racing across the sports universe. The message was loud and clear, we're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it. This wasn't just a promo video made for the fans. This was a powerful, unapologetic clapback to every critic, every doubter, and every rival who thought the Fever's rise laughed. Thanks for watching.